Do you know what a Chaldean is?
No.
Chaldean? No idea.
No, I don't.
What is Chaldean?
I do not know.
Flojos, de flojos porque no trabajan.
Like it's, obviously a type of person, like a race, but just a person to me.
Muchos son dueños de tiendas.
No, muchos sí, tienen tiendas.
Muchos trabajan y muchos no.
Pero la mayoría andan nomás y pero vas con el fregado rosario, de duro, pero trabajan.
That's a Christian from the Middle East.
I'll be here.
El Cajon Mayor Mark Lewis says he will continue to lead the city despite calls for his resignation. Lewis is under fire for racist comments he made about Chaldeans. When you classify and stereotype an entire race of people, can't you see how that can be offensive?
For some people, it can be.
There's a war going on outside. There's death everywhere, but I feel so alive. There's a war going on outside.
500,000 Iraqi refugees fleeing violence and economic strife in their homeland after the 2003 US-led invasion.
There is no government on it. So anyone who has a gun, kill the people anytime.
Only there was a fight, internal fight between Muslims themselves, the Sunnis versus the Shia and vice versa. But the Christians were also the victim, and the Chaldeans were the majority of the Christians.
You will be afraid to go to church because you don't know when you will be bombed or the church will be bombed.
Their churches were burned, their homes were broken into, their kids were shot, their businesses burned, their priests were injured.
وقعنا في المأزق بخطف ابني يعني روبن الوسطاني ودفعنا له فلوس ورجع وصار تهديد وصار قتل وصارت أمور البلد يعني كلش صعبة.
And then from war, and then they see another war. What is our counselor expecting, or our teachers? That they have to forget, you're in America, forget everything. It doesn't come that way. It doesn't come overnight.
You know, it's like different words, different people, different language.
If we speak of Chaldeans or Assyrians, they lived in the north of Iraq, around the biblical city, the ancient city of Nineveh. Nineveh used to be the center, the capital of Assyrian Empire. Before that, it was part of the Chaldean Empire. And that was their original land. They lived there since we remember, and in the books, and that was their area. It happened to be between the Arab and the Kurdish area, and also between the Kurds. And also prior to that in Turkey, among the Turks and Armenians.
We are grateful in a way to have these refugees. They're safe, they're here. Life is going to be tough, and life has been tough not only for our Chaldean community, for every immigrant when they came, whether they were Irish or Jewish or Afro or Latina, whoever they were.
There's actually a pattern where it takes around 3 generations for immigrant groups to become naturalized or to blend in. The Irish Americans at the turn of the century in New York were being depicted as monkeys, as savages, as animals in New York and Boston newspapers. Now, Irish Americans, they're celebrated. We're 3, 4, 5 generations down the line.
The stereotype about the Chaldean, being here, I don't want to say only about Chaldean, but it's about the refugees in general and about the Iraqi people. There's that mixed type of stereotype.
The Mexican community feel intimidated in regards to Chaldeans trying to get into their turf in regards to selling drugs. Same as the black African.
If you play a game 100,000 times where you're a soldier killing Middle Easterners, it's going to be so easy to hate them in the future. So the video game crystallizes the image of the other as a hateable substance. So when you're walking on the streets of El Cajon and you see someone from the Middle East and you say, oh yeah, just like in my video game, and you can't help yourself. It's almost like a robotic programmed reaction. everybody sees is the Twin Towers coming down, and we know that some guy wearing a turban was in on it. Because we're not ethnographers, we're Americans.
You keep on trying, I'll try to hold them off.
When we moved, my dad just came and he said, like, tomorrow we're leaving. We have to pick up everything. And we moved. I didn't have any feeling. You know when like someone put a paper in your eyes and you don't see anything? And that's it. Because I was like maybe 14 years or 15, I don't remember. I think the war stopped.
So the math problem determine the intensity or power is load times distance divided by time, right? So this is how we determine how much work you do. Doesn't matter if it's moving a car down the street or putting a rocket into space. It's all the same, load times distance divided by time.
فالحمد لله والشكر انه وصلنا لهنا وقدرت اني وامهم ان نوصلهم لهنا باي طريقه كانت. وانا على طول يمكن سلوان يعني وروبن وكلهم انصحهم على طول، اقول لهم ترى شوف لا توقف على خطوه، ظل استمر، لانه الزمن اذا ما تركض راح يثرمك ياكلك. فانت اكل الزمن، لا تخلي الزمن ياكلك، لان من الزمن من ياكل الانسان خلاص انتهى. خلي هو ياكل الزمن على مود يقدر يتقدم ويوصل المبتغى اللي هو الفكره بباله.
So that's basically what you're going to be doing here. So these are showing you examples of what pyramids look like.
No, I don't want to. I don't want her to talk.
You don't want her to talk to you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because ثانية الناس دقلانة. كل من دي موري لا دقلانة ولا أود يعني إيه.
You don't like people who lie to you?
Yeah.
Why? Why?
You know, because I don't trust people, and I don't live with them.
You have trust issues. We know that.
I write poem because I have problem in my life, and if I write a poem, I feel good, and my poem need my poem to change the world, and feel I need the person or the people feel good if they listen to my poem.
I enjoy creating art because it takes me away from everything. Art is freedom.
لعبتنا 10 كانت
I came here to the United States. I started in this high school. I learned some English, and it was like first year was like hard for me because like nobody helped me, and they doesn't have any anyone for translate or and when I turned 18 years old, they kicked me out. I was looking for other schools. When I was in this school, they didn't tell me nothing about like any options, like go there in other school, like there's other like adult school, you can finish your credit with it. They just gave me the paper. Like I didn't know how to read English. I just do it by myself. I ask like my friends, I ask people for other school. And I heard there's a new school, Diego High School. So I fill out my paper in this school and I'm going there.
ذيك السنين اللي راحت مرت علينا وفاتت عشرتنا لعبة كانت اوف يابا.
That's the old years that they passed. It was like playing, not loving.
Chaldean around the world are now mostly living in the United States, in Europe, several countries in Europe, in Australia, in Canada, in New Zealand, and somewhere else, even in the Middle East, working. They are scattered around the world.
My name is Simon Isaki. I'm a Chaldean American who was born and raised here. both my parents were born in Iraq. And I am a member of the first Chaldean Catholic seminary outside of Iraq. And basically, the seminary here started in 2008, and the reason for having a Chaldean Catholic seminary is so that the priests who are going to be the future leaders of the Chaldean church and the Chaldean people can know the Chaldean language and know the Chaldean traditions and liturgy so that they can pass them on to our future generations.
You guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy your food. First, I get here first. I'm from South America, from Brazil. Yeah, and then my family was at Europe, at Greek, Athens. And then my dad and my brother, they came after me, after like a year and a half. I left Iraq in 2003 because of the war. You know, the problems start after the war, and they start to kidnapping and killing the young people, especially the Christian. Okay, because they felt like we brought the army to Iraq. Okay, which is like basically a wrong idea, right? So my parents, they just sent me out to a safer place. And then after that, in few months, like the problem started with everybody. Like they kidnap everybody, kill everybody. If you got money, they kidnap you, they take your money, and then finally they kill you. They don't send you back, especially because you are Christian. And then so no economy, no life, no safety, no police, no nothing, no government. So you are basically living in the forest. It's just like, so yeah. My family started to leave. They went to Syria. And then in Syria, you cannot apply for documents or papers for permanent resident, you know. And then they went to Europe, to Greek, Athens, and there it was even harder because they don't give you like any papers there. So my dad and my brother they followed me. We left everything there. We left home. We left business, like farms, bank accounts. We left everything behind us, trying to save our life. Like our life is more important than everything, right? And then if you want to live here, you have to change your religion to Muslim. To be honest with you, the Muslims, they are not that bad. But afterward, the bad people, they just showed up. I mean, before the war, all our friends, they are Muslims, our neighbors. We go to school with them. We work with them, we never had problems. But afterward, I mean, everything has changed. Some people, they force you to change your religion because a Christian, like you are against the God. So that's why we don't want to change our religion or nothing. I mean, so that's why we left here. It's more freedom. You can work, nobody bother you. Nobody kidnapped you, nobody killed you, nobody threat you, you know, so that's the main reason.
My name is Bess Makota, and I work here at the Office of Chaldean Middle Eastern Social Services. What could be done to help the education system to understand the refugees? There's a lot to be done. I mean, we can't put them on paper 1, 2, 3, and okay, if we do this, we can clean that. If we put this, you know, we can do that. It is not that, because the education system is so big and so huge, and there's so many things involved with it. But I think the education system can be changed and fit with the community that they're in. We cannot bring an education system that is in Washington and we try to fit it here in San Diego.
Is that what it is? Because I saw that he has 193.
He's close to graduating.
Yeah.
And he probably told you about how he's doing a lot of working.
Yes.
He's working like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
crazy amount.
Yeah, and like, you know, he's having housing issues.
Yeah.
So I'm going to help him with the housing issues.
Okay.
You know, I talked to him for a little while yesterday.
Yeah.
Generally, the Chaldean students seem to be really motivated.
Their attendance is good. They come in consistently. They seem to be working very hard. I noticed that they don't come in with oftentimes credits consistent with graduation. At previous schools, they were assigned credits or classes that they may not need. They may come in with 100 elective credits, which 40 or 50 of those could be completely useless towards their graduation, towards their high school diploma. My goal for the Chaldean students is the same as it is for all of the students, is for them to get a high school diploma, whatever their post-secondary goal is, to work towards that. I would like to see everyone do some sort of schooling, whether it's a certificate program or degree, associates, bachelor's.
You know, if you do things by yourself, you're gonna learn more. And that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm trying to learn more and more.
In this environment, it really is personalized in the sense that if a student is coming with just coming from another country and they don't speak English that well, we can really adapt the curriculum to fit their needs. There's an openness and a flexibility to that you don't always have in a traditional setting with 35 kids, and how do you differentiate instruction for so many different students. In this case, it's a one-on-one basis. It makes it much easier to see where they're struggling, where they need help, what I can do to help them achieve whatever goals they have. So I think this environment is really good for that.
No, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. If we all together right now decided we wanted to change something, that's what you need to do.
And we can do it.
Excellent.
Yes.
We went to City Hall to find out why the mayor was saying all those things about Chaldeans, but the door was closed.
I think the struggle that they face, the main struggle would be initially the language, because they come with no language skills and they put them mainly in regular classes, and they have to struggle with their colleagues, quote, with their native colleagues.
I want to try and get them to talk about life in a dictatorship versus life here.
مو دول أوروبية، دول عربية.
صدام حسين كان مسيطر على العرب؟
مو على العرب، على الدول العربية.
دول عربية؟ شلون يعني؟
يعني سوريا والكويت والبحرين ودول.
هو كان مسيطر منو قال؟
ما هو كان موصل بس خافوا منه يعني قصدي.
I don't think so. That's not true. He's telling me. How can I say Saddam Hussein? He controlled all the Middle Eastern, Arabic countries. I'm like, oh, that's not true. He never controlled them. No, that's not true.
But people were worried about that. How is life different than it is now for you in the United States?
Is everything different?
In what ways? Like what?
Wherever, like school, life, work, so everything's different.
Like we can go anywhere we like we're scared. You go out like scared from somebody, and like
hurt you.
Yeah.
So in Iraq, you were scared a lot of someone hurting you or violence, guns.
Yeah. Okay. So when you go outside,
especially we're Chaldeans, like them.
It's not
yeah, they call Chaldean. They don't like. I mean,
they come on you and tell you, hey, okay, you have to be Muslim. If you don't like to be Muslim, they're gonna call you the same thing.
What are they supposed to do? Where are they supposed to go? If you have school boards making decisions that impact against bilingual education, and you have recent immigrants coming with a language that isn't even English or Spanish, can you imagine the resistance that they're going to find? What would they need? And this is why I say it takes 3 generations, because you're going to need teachers from that community who have gone through the education system and go back to the schools. Antonio Gramsci, the Italian a political writer, spoke about the organic intellectual. And that's what they're going to need. They're going to need organic intellectuals who come from their communities, somehow succeed, hope against hope at school, go to university, and then come back to El Cajon. Come back and impact on the next generation.
My name is Lena Somo. I am a math teacher at Diego Valley. I have been working here since January of 2013. I'm going to start my CASI seminar that it's going to be every day for 2 weeks, for an hour and a half every day. I am Chaldean. I came to this country when I was a teenager. So that helps me to relate to students in a different way, in a special way. You know, I remember myself when I was a teenager going to high school. I used to cry so many nights, not knowing the language. I knew math, for example, but I didn't know what the direction said. So that made me always feel, frustrated. So I can relate to students. Most of the EL that I serve here, the majority of them are Middle Easterns. Some of them are Hispanic. Independent study is, for them, it's a unique experience. They do struggle at the beginning, but once they get used to the system, they kind of understand the routine and what are the expectations. Equals -5. Can you tell me what is it going to be in order pair? -5. Good job. Does everybody agree? Yes. Check mark? Yes. What about the second one? Let me ask this side. 0, 6. -6. Does everybody agree? Yes. Check mark. Wonderful. This school has served them, has become a great opportunity because most of them are adults. They have been aged out from the other, public schools. And this is, for them, it's a gold opportunity to get their high school diploma, although they have aged out. I hope those of you who haven't passed CASI, you will pass it this time and you don't have to think about it again. Okay? Thank you again. I appreciate it. And I will see you some other time. Bye-bye.
Corey is able to see how the body changes, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Now it does.
My name is Craig Beswick, and I am the principal of Diego Valley Charter School. Under 18s that we can prepare the waiver forms for next week.
Okay, perfect.
In regards to my journey, beyond the scope of just, your academic ladder of how you become a principal, I grew up in Philadelphia, a suburb of Philadelphia, kind of rough and tumble. I'm a product of divorce. At 14 years of age, my dad left, and went from being really one of the best soccer players on the Eastern Seaboard and one of the top students to a knucklehead, really. Spent a lot of time in the streets, surrounded by a lot of violence and a lot of not so nice things. And that started a strain in me that just really wanted me to grow towards doing something to reach some kind of level of karmic retribution. When at the end of my days, I want the scales to be tipped, to be even, I should say. So using all those experiences has really allowed me to not just connect with kids, but for them to see a pathway out. It's almost kind of like, oh, Mr. Beswick, you don't know what it's like to do this or do that. And, not that I share my story with them all the time, but at certain moments, it's critical. When you can share with a kid that you understand what it's like to be hungry or to be beaten up or to struggle with, all the issues that we struggle with growing up, has become very empowering to kids, and has started to grow, to where kids feel comfortable, not just with me, because I feel like my staff is a reflection, not that they've walked in my shoes or some of them have had more struggles than I have, or different struggles, but what is conveyed is the human experience in this site.
Did you graduate this year? Hi everybody, I just want to announce another graduate today. This is Kiana Smith.
Yeah.
So Kiana's been working really hard, and her plans are to go to cosmetology school here shortly. So very proud of her. She stuck with it and did a lot of hard work today, or actually the last few months. So she's been with me since we opened this campus. So very good job. Kiana, do you have anything? So we're very proud of her, and hope to see you back soon. Yeah.
Congratulations, fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's see your graduation, cap and gown. You gotta get the picture. You gotta prove that it happened.
I'm like, we're sending you the information anyway. So.
If you can make it, it'd be great to have you. Okay, congratulations.
ضمن الأسباب أولا بعد سقوط النظام بالعراق قل الأمان، يعني الأمان فقدناه نهائيا. في أي لحظة من اللحظات تلقى أنه نفسك معرض للموت في أي لحظة، في أي شارع، في أي متنزه، في أي مطعم.
This story about someone live in city and don't have anything in the city. He moved to other city to build his future, and he can build and live in his life. But about me, this story, something same we live.
The word moving, it's meaning a lot of things, you know. It's meaning you live with your friends, your uncles, your family, even your cousins, your best friends, your house, and everything, you know. It's very hard. It's not easy, like, okay, we're moving, okay. It's a different word. How we came here is different word than Turkey. Was different where we moved from Zaho to Turkey, you know. Yeah, that's why I feel like the word stopped and I didn't see anything in my face. Of course, my belief and my faith and the faith in my heart helped me a lot with my problems, to fix my problems and to solve everything that I have bad in my life.
We still have family like cousins there, and they're not like in safety place. So we every day praying for them to be like a safety place and to come here or to help them.
I pray for them every night, every village, every people. So what I want from the God, just save them from the coming anytime.
On top of the trauma they come from Iraq with, which is the trauma being in the war zone, being in a bloody places, being in a place there where their parents, they were kidnapped, or where their parents, they were shot and killed in front of them, or they have to go and look for their parents' parts in the river to go search for their parents' parts. On top of that trauma, they come here and they see another trauma. Here is, the mainstream, they laugh at them. They don't wear the, same clothes that they dress. They don't dress right. They don't speak right. They have accent. They're not good. They're not smart. They're, call them stupid in the school.
I said I have to be strong. Yes, I did say that, because I think when someone is strong, no one can hurt that person. And yeah, I'm still a strong person, and I don't care about what other they say about me, as long as I'm happy with my life and I know what I'm doing and I know what I want from my future. I have to stay strong. That's what I think.
So our souls, for any new student at Deal Valley or in the Learn for Life charter system that would be intrigued with becoming a youth leader in our souls, it is scaffolding curriculum, so it is very intentional, however fluid in its organic evolution, because it's based on the youth that are in the room. It's youth-led and youth-driven within structure. So the structure is connection to self, connection to others, connection to community.
There was an Iraqi student who had not a lot of control of his English, and he, was an Arabic speaker who had a difficulty in expressing himself in English. But I've noticed, from the very first day, that he has a better language to speak, and that's the language of poetry.
نجم وقمر قاعد قلبه ويا الليل، كل واحد يقول اشعار بالوان ويهل كل نفس بيه وما يضل حيل، بدا يحكي نجمنا يقول وكليش بلا فارس بقينا وهاجت الخيل قضينا العمر ولكم كل اغراب، وبجاع الزمن ليش تحولت اغراب، شمس دنيانا قامت دوم تغرب ما تشرق على ضايع عملها، ولدنيا الوهم بس احزان، ملها يا عالم نجم وقتنيايا ملها املها لان عايش وسط اغراب.
Squat, just like that, all the way down, all the way up. Okay, so you'll do 15, and then you'll come and you do your 15 pull-ups. Okay, any way you want, and then you'll do 10, and then 10, and then 5. So yeah, start with 15. 15, 15, 10, 10, 5, 5. So
I explain to everybody from beginner on that during these workouts, you will have a conversation with yourself. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have that inner voice speaking to you saying, I don't know if I can do it. This is too hard. And those are some things that if you're planning on being successful in life, you're going to have those questions yourself. And so getting used to answering them and finding out who you are, it spills over into regular life.
I love Baghdad because wall, then a lot of dangers over there. Then a couple people, they put on religion on it. Like they ask you, hey, what kind of religion you are? Then if you tell them Christian, they start back up, or they come to you, hey, you are Christian, you have to be a Muslim. If she doesn't be a Muslim, they're gonna kill you at the same time.
Getting physical releases those endorphins and allows you to, for most people, allows you to manage the rest of your life. And as severe as some of these issues are mentally for people, the exercise part of it offers a release, and I think that it helps them better cope with all the other issues that they have in terms of PTSD.
We don't want to lose our youth. Our youth, they are the citizens of this country in 5 years. if they arrive after their 5 years of residency in the United States, they're going to be citizens. So do we want them, the question is, do we want them to be a good citizen? Self-sufficient citizens? Would we want them to be a citizen who will benefit this country, or we want them to be a losers? So whatever we can bring to benefit these youth, it will be excellent.
If you don't have diploma or you don't have your GED, you cannot do anything. You cannot like go to college or universities or even work at a bank or anything, you know. So I have to take my high school diploma and I have to take the major that I want. It's for me and it's for my family, because I don't want to like just take it and sit home or get married, you know. I want to do something for me, for my future. School, Diego Valley. I think for me, I had like that. It's a second chance. I didn't graduate from high school, so maybe I can do it here. So I came and I did the whole thing, the information, and then they accept me, and I'm still like doing the high school diploma, and I'm almost finished. Like I have only 30 credits left to graduate. Yeah.
We're trying like to make them happy in Christmas, you know.
It's a gift. Any gift would, like any gift, when the kids see the gift, it's gonna be like, you make him happy. Any gift. So let's go. That's happened one time in a year.
When we moved, like my family was hoping to get better life, study, education, freedom.
Hi, my name is Lubna. I'm from Iraq. I came here 3 years ago. I'm studying, working at the same time. They act like they never seen it before. That's all for you? That's all for you? Yes. 265, please. I'm so happy because I'm working here. The people are so nice to me. I love them. They do love me too. They show me a lot of respect. And I love the owner. He's a very nice guy. And the manager too. Everyone is nice here. I love to work here. And I work more than anyone else here. I work probably 7 days in a week.
So you don't have a day off?
No, no day off. I love this job better than the others.
So how do you have time to hang out with friends and do all that?
No, I don't hang out with the friends. I go to school twice in a week and then probably 5-6 days here. Sometimes I take a day off and three days on the other one. And Saturday, Sunday on the other one. That's all.
You know what a workaholic is?
No.
You.
Yeah, I was born in Baghdad, Iraq. Yeah, we was living in the big city. I moved here with my parents.
What do you like to do?
Play volleyball.
Go do that.
Where?
In the park.
Which park? Which is I'm not gonna play alone.
Well, Charlie, get your friends together and go play volleyball.
No one knows how to play volleyball.
Go in a club.
My mom doesn't let
Go
me.
to AYSO. They have volleyball. There's a Chaldean volleyball actually. AYSO.
I don't have time.
Well, because you're working too much.
Which is I'm not gonna get 2 days off and go play volleyball. No, I'm not gonna do it. Oh, goodbye. I have to go back to the work.
So people ask me all the time, what do I make of these individual immigrants who are really successful? These Horatio Alger success stories of people who come to the United States and just raise themselves up by their bootstraps. And I say, you know, hats off to them. because they are thriving in an environment that they weren't predisposed to succeed in. They're very much like my grandmothers, mis abuelitas, who were cooks and maids, and who were able to work so hard that they gave my father and my mother the wherewithal, the means to send us to college, which would have been unthinkable a generation before. So I think the world of these immigrants. I think that they have a hard road to hoe, and that against all odds, they somehow find a way to survive.
I'm gonna prove myself, so I don't have time for sleep. I work all shift night, and the morning school. So that's why there is no time to sleep. I wake at 7:30 in the morning. I'll be in the school. I have to be at 8:30 in school. Okay. Then I get up from the school around 2:30 or 3 o'clock. When I finish the homework, sometimes I get up like 4 o'clock. Then after that, I go to sleep. 1 hour or 2 hours. Then I go to my work. Start at 6 sometime or 7. Okay. I should be here like 7 o'clock. Then after that, my work is gonna finish, depends. The weekend, it's finished 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. But the regular day is gonna be 3 o'clock. Then I go to gym after that, spend 1 hour, 2 hours at the gym. Then take a shower, I'm gonna sleep 1 hour or 2 hours. If I get up from the gym, like 4 or 4:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Then 6, I should be sleeping this time. Then I wake up and again 7:30. But I got Monday and Tuesday, that's my day off. So I'll go to like bank, do my stuff, finish my paper, do a lot of stuff.
I think people have to engage in the society and civil society, civil organizations, not just religious, cultural, educational, social organizations or institutions. And in this way, they could contribute, they could learn, give and take from the larger society in America. And I think that's beneficial for their success, to forge ties with the rest of population to support each others.
When you're an immigrant and you're not a citizen yet, you cannot vote. But that does not mean you could not participate in the election process. What does that mean? It means you could have a coffee class for somebody in whom you trust, bring them to your neighborhood, and within your neighborhood there may be, out of 200 or 300 people, maybe 5 that can vote.
Trying to get our Chaldean population here more civically involved.
Help knock on doors for somebody in whom you believe, somebody you trust, somebody you would like to see represent you on the city council.
Obviously bring resources together and say, hey, these are ideas of some of the things we can do, right. But also bring them together and talk to them about how involved are they right now in local government, because that would be the easiest thing to get involved in.
So, yeah, because teaching is a form of getting information out, right? You might not be a teacher like me in front of a high school classroom. You might be teaching about your cause. Purple. They passed a new law that said you're not allowed to wear purple anymore. And you love purple. Actually, you guys, a lot of you are wearing purple.
A lot of you, yeah.
Yeah.
I said one.
What could we do? We can argue. How do we argue with the government? We have the Constitution that protects our rights. Freedom of what?
Freedom of press.
Freedom of press. So we could write to newspapers and go to the news stations and have them print something if we feel it's unfair.
My name is Sandro Sir. I was born in Iraq, in Baghdad actually. I went from Iraq to Syria when I was like 10 years old. I spent like 6 years in Syria, and then I came to Lebanon. And after Lebanon, I came to the United States.
What other freedom do we have? when we want to say something.
Freedom of assembly, which is where you can gather together in large groups and you can make a decision about something. Let's say we don't like this purple law, right? We could all get together and wear purple, and we could go out in the streets together and we could have a big protest about that. And
when I first started learning the Constitution and the rights and the freedoms in the United States, I felt like there is something different I can do. Like you can speak, you can talk, you can go into politics, you can do, if you want to do something, you can achieve it.
freedom of speech, which is the right to say how we feel or what we think. Can I say I hate the president? Can I say I want to kill the president?
No.
Probably not.
So freedom of speech has its limits, right? You're allowed to say things you don't like, but you're not allowed to threaten someone else's life.
Right.
So my freedom of speech ends where his freedom begins.
Right.
In other words, if I say I want to kill you, then I'm taking away his right to security and liberty and freedom.
And life. Does that make sense?
I have a question. But isn't it illegal, like, to go out and it's against the,
to break the law? So if you all decided, though, that a law was unjust, like in the South in the 1950s, they said black people couldn't go to schools with white people.
Right.
That was an unfair law. So the black people started going to white schools on purpose because they knew they might get arrested, they might get in trouble, but they knew that they were trying to go against a law that was unfair. That's a form of civic participation.
Right.
It's called civil disobedience. Civil disobedience. Gandhi did that in India. Have you guys heard of Gandhi? Okay, Gandhi did civil disobedience. And he did all kinds of things against the British government because they wanted the British out of India. So what else could you guys do you think?
But
is it important?
People, like, they don't know who are the Chaldean.
Exactly.
Right. They don't know who Chaldean.
Like, which language they speak.
I just literally 5 minutes before we had this conversation just talked to somebody who said, what's a Chaldean? And I said, well, let me tell you. So, I mean, it's very much an issue that we don't have a lot of awareness about, right?
I know about the Irish.
Is there exactly St. Patrick's Day, right? March 17th we do that, and we have a huge Irish population in the United States, although San Diego doesn't necessarily have as big, I don't know what the population is, but Chicago has a very large Irish population, Boston. So yeah, but here we have this huge Chaldean population. Perhaps you would have a Chaldean awareness type day.
Exactly. But it's about, like, you. If you want to do that, you can do it.
How can we do it?
We can't do it alone.
We can do it, like, all together.
We can't do it alone. What do we need?
We need support from other people.
How are we going to get support from other people?
By going to ask them.
So if we get a petition going, we'll have a nice letter, right? And then we'll have a petition going. We can get a whole bunch of people to sign this petition. And then what can we do with the petition after we have it?
Send it to the mayor.
Okay.
Or even to our local Congress people who go to Washington but live here.
Right.
Or we can send it to the city.
Exactly. They should have a chamber of commerce. We could also send it to them. We could also send it to the city supervisors or whatever.
And do you know who your city councilman people are? Do you know who the school board is? Do you know who can you vote for? Who are citizens and who aren't? And then even people who are still working on their citizenship, this is the kind of thing that they can still work on. There's a lot of things that people can do. I really think it would be important to get students together, though, and see what they think. What do they think about what their involvement could be, or what they want to focus on?
That statue, I don't have a picture of it right now, but the statue is a lion, and the lion he's on his feet, but he's standing on top of a person. And that's to symbolize that, whatever comes our way, we're still going to stand strong and we can fight it because we're going to unite as a people. So we've launched the campaign for the Chaldean American Month, and we've gotten a lot of really good feedback. So now the next process is just to continue collecting signatures, and also to reach out to all of the leaders of the different organizations within the Chaldean community. And we're hoping that we're going to get a good response from them as well. And based on the response we've already gotten, I feel like we will. And we'll go from there. Basically, we have a few weeks before the city council meeting.
Okay.
And we need to have all these signatures before then so that we can present it to the city council and, ask them if this would be something they would consider doing. Okay? All right, awesome. And so what Mark had also mentioned is because of his connection with the mayor, maybe we can get a meeting with the two of you and the mayor and, you know, us, of course, and ask him directly.
Yeah.
And maybe that might be the way to go
Absolutely.
as well.
And I can tell you that the city of El Cajon has done a lot of changes since the last mayor, since Mark Lewis said those really bad things about Chaldeans. We mobilized as a community. Chaldeans were heard. He resigned after 3 days. And the new mayor, Bill Wells, is very sensitive to the topic of inclusion of everybody. And he's worked really hard to make sure that everyone that makes up El Cajon is part of El Cajon. And your petition and your idea is a great idea. And it's going to happen because of the work you guys do. So I'll set up a meeting with the mayor, Bill Wells. And you just need him and 2 council members, which we have the support. There's a Chaldean on the council now, Star Bales. They appointed her after Mark Lewis resigned. And so the Chaldean community have a lot of momentum right now. We do. The most important and hardest part was what you've already done.
Okay.
The idea, the petition, and connecting the dots. You're 90% there.
What else do you remember, Sandra?
The Declaration of Thomas Jefferson.
The Declaration of Independence was by Thomas Jefferson. Excellent.
And the tea tax.
The tea tax, which is also called the Tea Act. And what did that lead to?
Lead to the American Revolution.
It's one of the first events of the American Revolution. What did we do with the tea when we were mad about the tax? We dumped it into the harbor, right? And then what happened? Were the British happy about that?
No.
They weren't very happy about that.
Politics is the pursuit and the exercise of power. You exercise that power not to line up your pocket. You exercise that power for the people.
They knew the time had come for them to take command. It's very clear you're being unfair, King. No matter what you say, we won't obey. Gonna hold a revolution now, King, and we're gonna run it all away with no more king.
We're gonna elect a president.
No more king. He's gonna do what the people want. No more king.
We're gonna run things our way.
No more king.
Some ideas? Okay, so I want you, and you kind of talked about it already, but I want you to come up when you feel brave and just write one of the ideals up here. You don't have to talk. You don't have to do anything else. You just have to write a word. Nice. Oh, did you?
DPMOCRACY.
R-A-C-Y.
Oh, Rodrigo has.
Who else? Anyone?
MOCR.
C.
CR.
See if there's a pen.
Miss, there's a pen here.
Oh, and there's another one. Are you going to write one, Bassam? You don't want to write it? Someone wrote it already?
Can I write?
No.
Perfect. But an ideal is what we're striving to be, right? It's our best self. Are we always our best self?
No.
Okay, so let's go through some of these. These are excellent. Freedom, that's obviously one of the main ideals, right? People think of the United States, they think there's freedom everywhere. Do we always have freedom here? Are there examples of things that maybe the government has done that have taken away freedoms? Well, prison, yes. But that's true. Actually, every government does that. And then we can talk about that later. But why do people go to prison? Is it just for fun that the government gets to lock them up? No. Or, yes, sometimes there is. And we'll talk about all that later. Okay, so freedom, democracy. Yes?
Where we all participate.
When we participate. What's that other word I was speaking of? Civic engagement.
You don't know how many meetings we request throughout the year. So many of them. Because it's important to not only to have the officials to be heard by the community members, but the community members, we want to make sure they were heard by the officials.
You see wrongdoing, like we saw in El Cajon. A man who was there for 25 years said some terrible remarks. You speak out, and you make a change for the better, and you expose it. Because I remember Dr. King said, at the end of the day, you don't remember the noise of your enemies, you remember the silence of your friends. And if we can't be there to talk about how to move our country forward, how to make this a more perfect union for everybody than as Americans we've let down our founding fathers.
So we are currently in the conference room at City Hall in El Cajon, California, and we're about ready to meet with the mayor, and we're going to have Mark Arbu from NMA here as well. And we're gonna have students Sandro and Sedwan from Diego Valley Charter speak with the mayor and ask for him to either sign the petition for the Chaldean American Month or ask for the resolution of creating a Chaldean American Month here in El Cajon, California.
Well, explain to me the idea of what you want to happen. What would the petition be asking for?
Oh, for the, like, how do you call, like, a day for the Chaldean, like, to do their traditional things, how they wear, how they eat, like, what's their language?
In the city of El Cajon, currently there's no year was established German American Month to celebrate Oktoberfest and all the heritage of it. And the idea they had was a month in the year where they could call Chaldean American Month.
Well, first off, I think it's a great idea. I can't imagine that the council won't support that.
Mayor, this is a proclamation for Building Safety Month 2014. Whereas the safety of the buildings we occupy daily,
the Red Cross, as well as other agencies that promote swim lessons, you always have to include safety as an aspect of every teaching exercise. You always want to keep your eyes on the water.
Item 6.5, Chaldean American Month. I was really impressed that a group of students contacted me and met my office and wanted to be involved in the legislative process. Thank you for being so involved in the process, and thank you for coming today.
Thank you so much for having me. Hello, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Peter Alcatib, and today I stand before you representing the students of Diego Valley Charter School and many other members of the community to present the proposal asking you to consider proclaiming the month of September as Chaldean American Month in El Cajon. The proposal emerged from a group of students attending Diego Valley Charter School after they participated in a U.S. history and government seminar and after being challenged on how they themselves could be more civically engaged. This is a remarkable attempt for the students to practice their freedom, a new concept to them as they were not offered the same opportunities prior to their arrival in the United States. We ask for the resolution of Chaldean American Month.
What do you want to accomplish? What's that you haven't been able to, but you hope to accomplish by having a month in the Chaldean month?
So it's not necessarily what I want to attempt, it's more so, what these students want to attempt. I mean, they've come from, war-torn countries, from suffering. One of my students, his brother was kidnapped. They never had the opportunities that we have here in America. And so today, all they want is they're practicing their freedom here, and they want to be able to have a voice in the community.
I am Chaldean. I'm not sure what the whole month of September will accomplish, or what will be the impact on the city as a whole and the people of it to have a whole month. What's the outcome of it? To have a whole month for Chaldean.
I don't think there's Chaldean need to be separate themselves from the other minority of this country or this city.
How about if we just give everybody their months? Would that make you happy? I mean, everybody, whoever wants a month, they can have it if we see that they are contributing to our city. Would that make you happy if everybody gets it?
No, I like everybody be same, that's all.
The same.
I don't like segregate, because we run from the country of the segregation. That's why we're gonna put ourselves in the same shoes again. No. I don't know. Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir. Oh, Bob.
Thank you for coming forward, recognizing that you're Americans now. Because when people come to Americans, we can't go to Iraq and say we're Iraqis. We can't go to Afghanistan and say we're Afghanistan. But when you come to America, you're Americans. You're not Iraqis anymore. You're not Afghans anymore. You're not anything but American. And thank you for recognizing that. Because that's what we're here for. Just to make you all Americans.
Thank you.
And thank you.
We came up with the idea to ask the City Council to proclaim the month of September as a Chaldean American Month. This is very important to us because as a student coming from a place where we had no rights and no freedoms, this is an opportunity for us to use our freedom and get involved with the great country, the United States of America. A lot of people do not know what or who Chaldean, and we hope to show them who we are. We also hope to bring together our Chaldean American cultures.
How long have you been here from Iraq?
A year and 6 months.
Okay, so when you were living in Iraq, do you feel like you could have engaged the political process like this before the war?
Never.
What would have happened?
I never can go to this level.
Okay.
To be civically engaged or being protesting for something.
They're not asking for anything new. Currently, there's a German-American month in the month of October. For all the Germans that celebrate Oktoberfest, the city of El Cajon says we celebrate. And I think with 30,000 Chaldeans in the city of El Cajon, they're not asking for grant money or public or special treatment or special stuff or segregation. They're asking for recognition and a proclamation. A simple piece of paper that might not mean a lot to some people, but to these students and to 30,000 Chaldeans that we all serve because they're residents, it means a lot to them. And it's as easy for recognizing them. It's as easy as hitting that green button and saying yes. Just like we did the German-American month for this month of October, which the City Council just did for German Americans. Let's do it for Chaldean Americans.
So the key to these new immigrant communities will be to celebrate themselves in public, to show the world who they are, and to invite others in. They won't always want to come, though.
I think it's important to recognize and celebrate the contributions of Chaldean Americans. We have fought many wars.
What are we to do when the Afghans come in and say, well, we're not Chaldean, how about having a month for us? And the Syrians come in.
Well, that's a right that's reserved for them. If they're American, they're going to come here every year, respected body, and say, listen, we want an Afghan day, and they'll go home. So that's up to their discretion to come to you guys and request that.
Couldn't we have a diversity month and everybody is recognized with the diverse background? Afghans, Syrians, Chaldeans, Iraqis that aren't Chaldean, other people from the Middle East that want to be recognized. Could we have a diversity month and not just pick one group? Because there's a lot of different people. They're all Americans now, but if we start segregating into different things.
And again, it's not about segregating. Again, why we call it Chaldean American. So you're really emphasizing the importance that you're American.
Today I'm here because, supporting the Chaldean American month. How would you feel if El Cajon City recognized every good group or diverse group that we have with a month? The question if we wanted to consider all other ethnicities, if they contributed to the city, why not? If the Latino asked for a month in Chula Vista, for example, or in National City, why not? I mean, if you see that they're bringing their culture, they're bringing their history, they're bringing their loving to the community. bring them their fair and nice, service that they give them. Why not?
First of all, if we allow the Chaldean month, then you have to be prepared to allow 50 other months for the other communities. We have the Medes, we have Kurds, we have Arabs, we have Assyrians, we have Italians, we have so many in alcohol. If you give everyone a month, then you have to look for a year that has 50 months, which you don't have.
It's about showing who we are to develop this understanding, this unity within the entire city.
Same question.
Yes.
You're a good American Chaldean citizen. I can see that in you, especially you're born here.
Thank you. I was born here.
Yes, this is great. Would it bother you if other cultures have a month? If we give every deserving culture a month? Like
that's absolutely.
Yes or no?
Would it bother me? No, it wouldn't.
Those students, I expect them, they need to read more about their history, about how the Chaldean church was formed. They need to know that.
How many of your friends you would think you could say that are not Chaldeans that you hang out with?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
How many friends that you hang out with that are not exactly pure Chaldeans or Chaldeans? How many do you have?
That are not pure Chaldeans.
They're not Chaldeans.
I don't count usually, but maybe 10.
Yeah, and they are from different culture.
Yes.
I come from Iraq, and where some of you are born here, you did not witness. I have witnessed how the Chaldeans said, "Oh, I'm Chaldean, and you're just Syrian, or Syrians is this, or other ethnicities." This went on for a long time, and still going. Now we're in America, thank God, we can sit here and communicate and not throw rocks at each other. And so many different approaches, so many different ideas or thoughts, and I know, I can feel tension from all of them. There's certain tension there. We say yes, the Chaldeans will gain, but then again, we are taking away from other people. We are. You cannot ignore them. As I said in the question, can we give you that? Would it make you just as happy if other groups haven't? Why didn't I get a response that says yes? I'm going to be just as happy for other groups as I am for myself. I didn't hear strong yes.
If you all say yes.
You all say yes? Okay. Then you know what? I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. That's what I want to hear. Because we left our country because of all this. We don't want that. We don't.
It's been a lot easier if the Chaldeans were known for making great beer. I want to commend these students for bringing this here, taking the time to really get engaged and bring something that they were passionate about. And for that, I am very thankful that they did that. And for that, I can support this request, Mr. Mayor.
I happen to be the son of an immigrant. My mother came from Czechoslovakia, and I would have loved to have a Czechoslovakia day in Santee when I grew up, but I was only Czechoslovakian in Santee, so that probably would have worked out. And when I drive down Main Street, I see, Middle Eastern people all over the place, all doing good things. I don't think it's asking too much to have a Chaldean American month, because we're all Americans. And if the Assyrians want to come in and have a Syrian month, I'll certainly consider that, or the Syriacs, or whoever wants to come in. We're all friends, we all get along. And I think the main thing is that we celebrate each other's diversity, ethnicity, and so I'm going to support this.
When we entered into this war, whether you agree with the war or not, there were unintended consequences of the war. One of those unintended consequences was there was a group of people that no longer could live in the country into which they were born because they would be murdered, they would be slaughtered. It was only right that America offered asylum to this group of people because America caused the problem, even if it was for good reasons. America caused the problem. In Al-Kahol, a large group of these people have come to live. And when a new group of people comes in, sometimes it goes easy and sometimes it's not so easy. And there's tensions. And there's people who like it the way it used to be. There are people who like it the way it's going. And that's just the American experience. It's important for us to demonstrate an acceptance and a love of this new group of people who we call neighbors. So when this group of young people came to me and said, we'd like to have a Chaldean American month, and in the process, we'd like to learn how democracy works in America, and we're told that we have a voice, but we really don't believe it, but we'd like to come and try. I honestly, without much of a thought, said, that's great. Not thinking it would be controversial. I don't think this is controversial. I don't think by granting this to you, we are denying anybody else their rights. I don't think we're choosing sides. I think we're just acknowledging the fact that we've got a group of people who've been torn away from their country, and now this is their country. And we want to say welcome. We want to say we value you. So because of that, I would like to make a motion that we make September Chaldean American Month.
I like the Chaldeans to have their month because they deserve it. Really, they contribute, just like all the other minorities we have. And I don't think the Chaldeans would object this because it makes sense and they're good people. I'd like to make the month of June, since we're already celebrating the differences in the diversity of the groups that we have in our city that month, I'd like to have more of that celebration. I want month of June in our city to be like the month like no other city have. So I want to make the month of June and call it El Cajon Cultural Diversity Month of June.
Well, what your motion has to be is whether or not you want.
Of course, I want the Chaldean month.
Okay.
Yes, I do. And I also.
Do you want to specify what month that is?
In June. The month of June. I want the month of June to be the Chaldean month, and I want it to be called El Cajon Cultural Diversity Month, which would include any other diverse group that we have. If they like to have a month, I would like to name that month to them. If it's Chaldean, if it's Assyrian, if it's Kurds, we have a lot of Kurds here. If it's Christian, Muslim, don't matter, any.
Councilmember Mills, so just to clarify, you want to make a motion. Did you make a straightforward motion?
Okay, how do I do this? I like to make the month of June, I want to call it El Cajon Cultural Diversity Month, which starting today, it includes Chaldean American. I don't see why is it so hard to understand my motion? I'm sorry. If there is a different way of wording it, please help me.
Let's hear from our city attorney.
Councilmember Bells, I think what the mayor was mentioning before is we don't have that on the agenda tonight. We only have on the agenda the request to make September Chaldean American Month. And so if there was a preference or a desire, rather than just a preference, but a desire to name June the month as you indicated, you should ask that be put that on the agenda yourself. Under your item, it can be brought back at a meeting for discussion.
Okay, or other diversity groups, they can do that if they wish.
You don't make it an open forum. You should have a specific request that you want to have the council discuss when you put that on the agenda.
Okay. Okay, so the month of June.
So what I guess I'm trying to tell you is that isn't on the agenda tonight. It's your substitute motion, but that's not on the agenda tonight. What's on the agenda is whether to make a month the Chaldean American month, and recommendation was September. Now, if your variation is that you'd like to have that at a different month, that's one thing. If you don't want to have a Chaldean American month, then you vote against the motion. But without having it on the agenda under your name or anybody else's, we're not able to take up a vote, as you have indicated, to make a different type of month, the cultural month that you described. Is that clear? If you want to do that, bring it back as an agenda item.
Okay, all right.
So, if just help you out, if you want to make a motion that we accept Chaldean American Month in the month of June, you can make that motion.
We can make that motion and then perhaps, see, because I want peace in my whole city. And in what you, like I said earlier, you say no to a good group because other group, you're worried about other groups.
And I understand your arguments.
And you say yes.
Star.
Yes or no, it's really difficult for me.
Star, stay with me for a second, okay? I understand your argument. Everybody's had a chance to weigh it now. And now we've got to vote. If you want to make a motion.
Can I make a motion that we carry this to next meeting?
You can make that motion.
Okay, I like to, because I want to make sure.
Okay.
I want to make sure that it's a win-win for everybody, not just one group, for everybody. So in the meanwhile, I hope that these groups sit and talk with each other and let's make peace.
So your motion then is to postpone
our
the next
decision.
council.
Yes, please.
Is there a second for that? I'm sorry, there's no second for that. So I'd like to make a motion then that we make Chaldean American Month official in the month of September.
Second.
So move the second, please vote.
That motion carries. No.
I'd like to come visit your school sometime.
By the power vested in me by the state of California, I hereby certify that these students have met the graduation requirements of Diego Hills and Diego Valley Charter Schools and the state of California.
How do you feel? My future. This is my future. I got my future.
It's frustrating, hopeful, and creative.
Happy, being successful, and have potential for the best.
Freedom, opportunity, and frustration.
I would describe my life here in America as lucky, blessed, and opportunity.
Freedom of speech, better job opportunity, and peace.
Empathy, a lot of empathy, collaboration, and fight.
Freedom, questions, future.
Fair, justice, diversity. Peace, pride, 4th of July.
Opportunity, freedom, and liberty.
Quality and love and peace.
Freedom, democracy, idealized.
Equality, justice, and wisdom.
Freedom, strength, and peace.